Welcome to Slasher Sunday. So, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. My favorite film in the franchise, for sure. Every time I watch it, I just like it a little bit more. Seriously, it's perfect. It's a fantastic fucking film, and it was not hard to sit down and watch the commentary on this, and even watch some of the Joe Lynch commentary with Adam Green. I didn't watch all of it. I just had been kind of sitting there for like 4 hours, so I was just like, well, 3 hours, but whatever. I'd been there a while, so I was just like, all right. I think I've gotten enough. They're not really giving me anything but their insight on how they enjoy it. It's almost like listening to myself. So I was only getting so much from it, but I did listen to the Zito commentary, and we'll definitely talk about that. So, special features. Here we go. We get to see Axel's death during the filming, which is really, really cool. There's a lot of like the kills being set up. Now, what of this? Let's see. Yeah, nothing's new. Nothing's new. This is all that shit from like 2008 or whatever. So, not one new thing. I didn't think so, except for the 4K scan. But not one new thing from fucking Shout Factory on the majority of people's favorite Friday film. You know, maybe all these people just don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't know. But I would feel like they should have gotten new stuff on this. But so far, man, I mean, I have to say I'm very disappointed with this box set's special features. Yeah, the films look great. Absolutely. And is it worth it for that alone? Sure. But with Scream Factory, we expect a ton of features, and I feel like they rushed this production, like they rushed this box set, and so we're kind of left with a box set that doesn't have a lot of new special features. Now there is that like bonus disc that comes with it that has a lot of shit on it, and I'll talk about that one eventually. But just on these individual movies that specifically focus on that film, so far, from all of these, I don't think there's been... I honestly don't feel like there's been a new anything. Could be wrong on that. Let me see here. I'm super curious on this. So Friday the 13th Part 1. Yep, nothing. Friday 2. Nothing. Friday 3. Nothing. Okay. So, wait, let's see. Friday 4. Nope. Friday, or 4. 5. Friday 6. No. Wow. Jesus. So I could have done the special features thing. Like, this is kind of pointless. What I'm doing here is kind of pointless. I mean, it's not pointless, but I could have done this, years ago. These special features have been out for a long time. Shit, this fucking 7 doesn't even have a new scan. Wow. 8 doesn't have a new scan. Nothing new on it. 9. Alright. It takes all the way till 9 to get new stuff. New audio commentary by director Adam Marcus. The fucking film I hate in this franchise is the one I get. Special features on that are new. New interviews with Adam Marcus and Kane Hodder. New optional commentary with Adam Marcus. Did they put... Oh, wait, what? I'm confused. There's new audio commentary by director Adam Marcus and author Peter Brackey. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was written weirdly. Additional TV footage with new optional commentary. And then there's commentary with Adam R. Okay, so not until 9 do you get any new special features. And then 10 has interviews, some interviews. Jason X, nothing. Friday, the remake, nothing? Wow, even with the newest one. And then, of course, we got this whole disc. You know what I should be watching is that I need to sit down and I need to watch that that Jason documentary that they made. I never did watch that. And the Nightmare on Elm Street one. I never watched either of those. And that's, that's kind of surprising. But honestly, I don't watch this kind of stuff usually. I'm not a big special features kind of guy, weirdly. But that's what I'm liking about this, is that it's making me go back, and watch these things that I feel like I should have already had watched. But I haven't, and here we are. Anyways, moving on. All right. So, sticking with the behind-the-scenes filming of the kills, the nurse that gets killed, the one that was with Axel, they had a shot of her bleeding from, her legs being hung from the wall, and there's blood dripping down, but it straight up just looks like she's on her period and is like, just, peeing blood. It's pretty funny, and they're all laughing on this set when they catch this, because I guess something went wrong with the probably wasn't supposed to do that, but it straight up just looks like she pisses blood. It's pretty funny. And I mean, they show Sam in the raft naked filming these scenes over and over, and it's clearly cold, and she's clearly nude. Like, they show her from the top angle, she has nothing on, nothing at all. And she's sitting in that water. And I know that there's reports, I want to say Ted White was furious and, like, demanded that she got better treatment or something. I don't remember them saying. They definitely did not mention this in the commentary. But I've heard that from, like, they didn't put it anywhere on the special features in here, I would assume, for a reason. But I remember reading that he was, like, very protective over her. Looking like that, I can imagine why he would be protective over her. But I mean, I would assume he'd be protective over anyone. But fuck, man, Sam is just outrageous. And then they show Crispin Glover's death, and it's actually like, a hatchet, a butcher's knife, and or a meat cleaver, whatever. It actually. His face, exactly where it's supposed to hit, is like carved into this knife, and then they like press it against his face, so it fully like forms his face, and then they pull it away really fast, and then they just play it in reverse. That was super cool. What a fucking smart way to do that. So they show it really quick, and then they cut away for a second, and then they come back, and then the blood's like running as it's been put into his face. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Just a reverse shot, and it looks like fantastic gore. You don't even have to get too many insane over the top effects, prosthetics, and whatever, puppetry, fucking what have you. This is such a simplistic idea of just cutting it out to the form of his face, and then just popping it on his face and pulling it away really quick and showing it in reverse. So there you go. Then we see Gordon jumping out the window. I've said this a million times, and the commentary to me confirms this. Gordon is not dead. He just jumps out the window and runs for his life. I don't know why people think he's dead. They just don't get it. And he clearly jumps out the window. He's not thrown. So I don't know why I'll continue to keep defending a fucking dog scene in a movie, but it is what it is. But yeah, brave pooch. I mean, this dog really was jumping through this glass window. I mean, obviously it wasn't real glass, but they still had a dog trainer that was outside, and they just like kept having this dog jump through the window. That's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool doggy there. And then the window stunt where Trish's body double, her stunt double, she jumps through the window. When they show it at full speed, they said that that's the reason that like slowed it down, is because when they show it at full speed, it looks fucking fake. It does look fake. She comes out that window so fucking fast. At least I think that was the normal speed, but whatever it was, it's gnarly. That stunt's crazy, man. She jumps through that window, hits her back, goes through the railing, and then falls on her back. And then I think he said they made her do it, or no, the car thing they made her do twice. I don't think, maybe she didn't do that one twice. I feel like he said they did that one twice too. Did I write that down? The girl hitting the car though, for sure. One of the twins hit the car. That is there. This is just really cool stuff to see. Like the behind the scenes of them rigging up the deaths was fucking awesome. This was my favorite thing of these special features on all of these films so far. I was really into it. I was just loving seeing these behind the scenes, you know, setting up deaths, setting up gags, setting up kills. The actors, how they're like laughing and having a good time. It's great. It's just great. And Ted White was the one that wanted to change up Jason. He wanted to change his style, you know, from slow guy to move, making him move faster. And I think he's accurate on this. I think this is the scariest Jason. I think this is the best Jason. I mean, to me, this is the best film in pretty much every aspect. I can't think of another film in the Friday franchise that does anything better than this film does. It has my favorite characters. It has my favorite kills. It has my favorite music. It has my favorite Jason. It has my favorite fucking, you know, everything. Well, I guess Final Girl might not be number one. I do like Trish quite a lot, but I guess Ginny would be my favorite Final Girl. I know that these are pretty typical answers, but I think they're typical for a reason. I'm trying to think of a better Final Girl. I do like Pam. I'm such a fanboy of Part 5, and I'm very much looking forward to next week because I fucking love 5, as you guys know. Hello, Pam! And I like in the interviews that Ted White is talking about Corey Feldman, and he's just like, little kid was mean. He was like just straight up being like, that kid was fucking mean on set. He was professional, but he was a little mean son of a bitch. And I know that scene where he like comes through the window and grabs him, and Corey like screams out, that's like a real scream, because Ted was like wanting to scare him because he was a little fuckhead on set. That, I mean, he very much is very candid about that in this interview with himself. Like, he's just like, he's a little fuckhead. I thought that was great, you know. And these guys on set 100% believed that this was the final Friday. Like, they absolutely 100%. Joseph Zito and everybody else was very adamant on this. Like, no, they straight up were like, no sequels. And we never thought for a second there'd ever be one. So, they're morons. Because if these things make enough money, they should have known it was coming back. The screenwriter for this wanted to have Jason like this. The screenwriter for this was just, whilst I love the movie and whatever he wrote that ended up in the film, bravo, but listening to him talk about this movie, and I kind of get it. As a writer, you know, you want to be like risky, and you want to try things, and you want to be deep, and you want to all these things, right? But this guy, he was like, he was so bored with this script. I'm telling you, the shit he was saying, the shit he wanted to put in here. He wanted to put in a scene where Jason grabs Trish's breast. And this is like what humanizes him in that moment, like stops him in his tracks, and this is what he wanted, and whatever. What? That's almost as stupid as, the scene that actually made it into the film where Chris is basically implied to be raped by Jason in Friday 3. So Jason reaches out and grabs Trish's breast. Really? Why? I'm not saying Trish ain't good looking. I'm not saying it. But why would he grab Trish's breast? Why not Sam's? Why not Ginny's? Why not fucking every other chick that he's encountered in this entire franchise? Like, what? I get it. He's trying to be a writer. He's trying to like come up with, oh well, Jason, sex is this and blah blah blah, and he's a little kid in his mind, and he's trying too hard. He's trying too hard as a writer. He's clearly not seen what this franchise was and what this franchise was going to be remembered for. Now, you guys know me. I'm all for trying risky things, getting crazy, getting weird. I'm okay with that, okay? I mean, shit, here I am blowing part 5 with a fucking copycat killer. I love that. And I know a lot of people hate that. So maybe I'm being almost hypocritical by being like, well, you're really going to have that kind of jump the shark Jason moment where he's going to grab Trish's breast. But I'm fine with Roy in part 5. I don't know. I just think that would be so dumb. That would be so dumb. But whatever. And morning after ending. Oh, yeah. So I was wondering why I wrote something else here. So there is a full-on like alternate ending to this movie that was shot, and not only shot but cleaned up like pristine, like beautiful. The fucking footage looks like it was shot yesterday. In fact, when they were showing it, I was like, what is this? Is this... I thought it was going to be a recreation. Like, when it was sweeping in, I was watching it and I was like, oh, so they don't have the footage, so they shot something and they're going to have, like, actors in their place pretending to be them so we can see how the scene would have played out? I mean, that's a very interesting idea, but I just didn't think the footage being that clean. Because usually when they show deleted scenes, alternate endings, whatever, they don't clean those up. They just don't. They're rough. They're rough footage. Not with this one. This one, man, they were fucking like crisp HD, beautiful transfer on this scene. Anyways, we find Trish goes upstairs and she finds her mom's body dead in the tub. I had said previously, I was like, we never see Miss Jarvis's body, right? Like, of course, where it's implied that she's dead, but unless you see it on screen in these films or any films, you can never count that as truth. But I don't see why she'd be gasping out and then nowhere to be found. She's clearly dead. But I guess, I mean, this confirms that she's dead up in the bath. But at the same time, it's a dream fake out because Jason's in the corner. And then it wakes up where we know from the film. Fuck! Stop fucking yawning. Oh my god, I swear to god, guys. I swear to god. I know they bring this up every time I yawn on the fucking channel. But I swear to god, I'll sit here for like 3 fucking hours straight watching this shit, doing stuff, and I won't yawn once. Nothing. Zero. And I'll even sit down before and I'll be like, oh good, well, at least I'm not yawning right now. I'm not even feeling any bit tired. So, at least I'll be able to get through this fucking video. In fact, I was going to watch another movie. And I made the decision, like, no. I'm going to record the video first so that I'm not yawning. Because it's only, what, midnight? Yeah, it's only midnight. So I was thinking, like, oh, I'm fine. Now, granted, I did get up at 7 this morning. And I worked all day. And then I drove to Phoenix and back. Okay. So I've had a long day. But whatever. It fucking drives me crazy. And I fight it with every fucking bit of my goddamn body. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, don't do it. Scream. All right, I'm going to stop talking about it. But it drives me crazy because I swear to God, people are watching this and like, Jesus, this guy's so bored. He's boring himself. He's so fucking bored with himself as I was. Now it's confirmation. Fuck, it drives me crazy. All right. And then we get to see a bunch of different fucking shots of Crispin Glover's dance. Like a bunch of different versions of his dance. They filmed way more footage of him dancing and multiple different takes of it. And you get so many other great moves. It's seriously so fantastic. It's seriously so fantastic. I love that scene so much. All right, so commentary with Zito and the writer and the editor. And the film had to be in theaters weeks after it wrapped. Weeks. That's insane. That's insane. And they gave it to the MPAA multiple times. Now, I don't know if that happened. It would have had to happen after post because he'd have to send them complete film, right? And he was saying they were like just taking out one frame and then sending it back to the MPAA because the MPAA does not tell you why you get an X rating. They won't specifically target any scene in particular. Like they won't be like, here, just cut these seconds off here, cut these would be considered X rated. These scenes, these seconds right here will show you exact. No, they got to be fucking assholes. That I can't come up with a reason why why they do that other than to be cunts and waste their own fucking time. In fact, actually maybe that is the reason. Maybe every time you submit the film, you have to pay a price to submit it, and they want you to submit it multiple times so that you have to pay them more money and so that they have more things to watch, right? Imagine watching the same film like 40 times, and every time you watch it, it's 1 second different, but you have to watch it over and over again. One of my favorite stories I ever listened to, because I fucking despise the MPAA, was when Matt and Trey from South Park, they made Team America World Police, and they said that they would send the MPAA like cuts of Team America with just insane shit. Just all throughout. And like pooping and the pissing scenes, which is in the unrated cut, which is so funny. But he said they just fucking like packed that stuff in there and sent it in. And they knew none of it was ever going to get through. But they did it purely so that the people at the MPAA would have to sit through it. That's so fucking funny to me. That's so funny to me. I love that so much. Fuck them. I wish every studio would send them 15-hour movies and 13 hours of that was just like people shitting in each other's mouths. That's what I would like for the fucking MPAA to get on a daily basis. Cunts. Fucking cunts. I hate them. I hate them. They've ruined so many films. Friday Part 2 being fucking the main example, the main offender. Fucking pricks. And Axel's rant was minutes long. Minutes long. The Jesus jumping Christmas shit line, I guess he went on forever with that kind of stuff. He just kept going on. God, I'd love to hear that. God, I wish that fucking footage. That's what should be in the Scream Factory box set, right? Should be Axel's rant for the first time ever. We get to hear the whole thing. Imagine how many more lines that we would get out of Axel. There's so many that we say, that have to do with Axel or Axel says himself. You're the Super Bowl of self-abuse. Like, stuff like that. Like, imagine getting multiple new lines from Axel out of whatever fucking shit he said during. Ah, such a shame. Such a shame that that footage is not here. But hopefully it exists somewhere. And I don't think I pointed this out, but in the movie review, but when Teddy types on the computer, which is actually just Coors Light, or Coors, no, it's not Light, Coors can boxes, it straight up sounds like a real computer that he's typing on. I know there's no computer there. I mean, they specifically state that in the film. You know, when he says there is no computer, and he said, aha, and there is no Betty either. See, so he's very much confirming there is no computer. We know there's no computer, but regardless, it sounds like keyboard. It sounds like a fucking keyboard. They had to have inserted that sound, but whatever, doesn't matter. And the parents, or the grieving people that are in the hospital when they're carting Jason past, are supposed to be parents of, you know, the kids that were dead in part 3, which I thought was great. Although I guess technically, no, because that would be that night, and then, yeah, so it would be that night that the people from 3 would be there, and it'd be like the day before or so, day and a half, 2 days before part 2. I mean, this all takes place in like 4 days, part 2, 3, and 4, which I love. I love that about it. And then the nurse that gets pushed up against the wall actually had something in her cap for her hat, and she was like threw her head up against the wall. It actually like stuck into her head, and they had to like rip it out. That's pretty wild. And the so the overweight lady in the banana scene, they were trying to hire for this very specific thing with a fat girl, and they actually wrote like in the script or whatever that this girl's name was Fat Girl. And when they were trying to have people read for this part, that girl showed up, and they accidentally gave her, because they were trying to hide that fact that you know the character's name was Fat Girl, or the description, and they accidentally gave her this script with that name on it. She was supposed to get something that just said, like, you know, hitchhiker or something. And they're trying to like get it away from her and this and that. And she essentially said something along the lines of like, she's like, no, I'm here to audition for Fat Girl. Like, I know what I'm here for. I've talked about that on the channel many times. Like, imagine being the casting agent who is looking for someone who is ugly. Be like, look, your role in this film, they're going to point out multiple times that you're ugly. That's going to be part of the joke of the film, is how unattractive you are to people. Like, you're going to keep coming onto this character, and people in the audience are going to be like so grossed out by your appearance. Imagine trying to cast someone like that. Be like, you're going to be the ugly girl. You're going to be the fat girl. You're hired. And be like, oh my God, I'm hired? I'm hired for the ugly girl? I'm hired for the ugly guy? Oh. Fuck. What a blow, man. What a blow. It's, you know, she took it in stride. And when Zito went to visit these houses later on, many years later, he said there were still machete dings in the like door structures and whatnot, which I thought was pretty cool. Rob was supposed to have this like high-tech gear that he was hunting Jason with, and they actually filmed it. Or no, they didn't film it. They got the props on set, and they looked so dumb that Zito just cut it all together. He was like, never mind. He really liked the idea, but I guess this shit looked awful. Crispin Glover was genuinely scared that his death scenes were going to be dangerous and that he was actually going to get hurt during them. He's such a weird dude. He's such a weird dude, but I love him, so it doesn't really matter. But he's a weird guy. Gordon is named after a dead dog, which I feel like some people would use as some kind of evidence that Gordon is dead. It'd be like, oh, come on, man. That dog's dead. They named him after a dead dog. I thought that was kind of funny. And Zito wanted him thrown through the window. That was his intention. I think it was Zito. I couldn't tell the difference between these three guys sometimes when they were talking. I was like, wait, who's talking again? So I was kind of confused on who was saying that, but I think it was Zito that was saying that. It could be wrong. And straight up in this commentary, they say that Gordon ran off. Okay, he got out of there. He hightailed it out of there, and he got lost. So, boom. Confirmation that Gordon, the dog, is still alive. And then just a couple tidbits that I caught from Adam and Joe's commentary. This is an obvious one that I've probably known in the past, but for some reason when they said it, I was like, oh yeah, duh, I guess that makes perfect sense. But that fucking Tommy Jarvis was named after Tom Savini. That was an homage to him. I don't know why this never occurred to me. But yeah, Tommy. Makes sense. I would have thought like it was an homage to Tommy Doyle, but fuck do I know. So that, I think there's one of those probably very obvious bits of trivia that, I don't know, because I don't think hard enough, obviously, but also number two is because I don't watch any special features shit, so I must have missed it. It was actually kind of hard to listen to them. They were fans, and I quite liked what they had to say, but they just kept interrupting each other. Like every time, like someone would try to go to make a point, I couldn't remember who was who, but I don't know if it was one over the other. But there's so many times where one was trying to say something and the other one was just start talking immediately, and then they would just never come back to it. And I was like, fuck, I want to know what he was going to say there. So that was pretty irritating, to be honest. And then they pointed out a continuity error. I think it was Adam. He noticed that Corey Feldman's character, Tommy, he was on his stomach when Mrs. Jarvis comes in the room, and then when she turns around, he's on his side in a position that was much, much different and would require a good amount of moving to get into, and he would have exposed himself as still awake. I never noticed this before. And then Zito pointed out something about the bookshelf with the toys on it and the continuities off there. I didn't look up in time to see what he meant, but supposedly that's there. But yeah, I mean, overall, I was I was hoping for better features than this for this film. I was hoping this is what I really wanted to do this for. But I guess I shouldn't even write Scream Factory, but people need to know, right? So people need to know what is on these and what is worth checking out. But yeah, so I like these features, but they're old as fuck. Where's the new stuff, guys? Come on, Scream Factory. But yeah, so there you go. Until next Slasher Sunday, adios.